I think that the only way to do it is to repeatedly normalize that it is okay, and it has to start with leaders. And then you have to create a forum for other people to do it in a way that they're comfortable.
One of our core principles is that mistakes make us better. So very similar in the sense that when mistakes happen, we want to take them, learn from them, and kind of march forward. But I pretty much find that people are just terrified of making mistakes in general, just in life. So embracing failure is difficult. So how do you get, aside from never obviously embarrassing anybody in groups or the way that management and leadership handle them, I think that's like 101 at this point. But outside of that, how do you get people to truly embrace failure, bring it to the forefront, take accountability, solve problems, and kind of learn?
Absolutely. So Chris and I model this by example. So as we've made mistakes in scaling the company, we are really upfront about it. So we normalize it, right? And we do it ourselves. We say, hey, we made this really big mistake. This is what happened. It caused these massive problems in the business. This is the action we're taking to solve it, right? So leaders need to normalize it and lead by example. I have a segment in my all hands meeting repertoire called Stories from the Field. And it's about how we've worked with our customers, and I have different team members that engage with our customers, talk about stories. And we kind of alternate between success stories and learning moments, right? And so we talk, hey, this customer's super successful. Like, look at their great results. They've done X, Y, and Z. They love us, blah, blah, blah. But then the next story from the field will be like, wow, we really dropped the ball on this, or we made this mistake. And then this is how we responded and recovered. And so I think that the only way to do it is to repeatedly normalize that it is okay, and it has to start with leaders. And then you have to create a forum for other people to do it in a way that they're comfortable, right? And individual comes up and talks about their story from the field, and then Chris or I can come on and applaud that individual for being willing to be vulnerable and share whatever mistake they made and what they learned from it. And I think when you do that on a consistent basis, it doesn't become taboo because everyone's doing it, and it's just part of our culture.
I think it's interesting too, Matt. So I was involved in hiring a COO for one of our companies. And one of the questions that I asked him was, what's the greatest mistake that you've made in your career so far? And so I wanted to make sure that he had awareness, he had humility in being able to acknowledge it, and how he would handle it differently. And so I think during the hiring process, you can ask intentional questions. These are our values. What are the questions that I'm asking to suss out, how has this person demonstrated this in the past? And you're going to get either really quality answers or answers that you're going to think, I don't know, that doesn't rise up to the level of, I've said this before, I think you've heard me say it. I love to hire from the scratch and denial, because business is hard. And so I'm looking for people who have had hard things happen and still made it in the process. So.
Absolutely.